Alright, welcome back to season 3 of our show. And today it's chicken. We're showing you a very basic, simple chicken crostini pan fried recipe. I'll show you how to get it done. So right here I have some chicken. This is chicken thighs. Now these are deboned, de-skinned, and cleaned. I left one here just so we can do that later on, just so I can show you guys how to do that. And I'm just going to move this off to the side for now. So this is what you're going to need outside of the chicken. You're going to need some olive oil, salt and pepper, fresh garlic, sage, oregano, that's a dry. You're going to need some cherry tomatoes and some parsley, this is Italian, and a loaf of bread, whatever your choice. So let's get this part of the recipe done first. So the first thing we're going to do is get our bread situated. So chicken crostini is basically chicken on top of bread, toasted bread. The first thing you're going to want to do is cut some bread down. Now I like these loaves because I can just go like this. I'm using a bread knife and I can just slice my pieces like this. And you're going to want to get them kind of thin. Now you can either put these on the grill or you can put them under your broiler or put them in your toaster if they're small enough. Let's just get that bread knife in here. This way you need a bread knife, you see, because you're going to want to make these nice slices like this. So I'm just going to bring a tray in here and get these onto the tray. Just kind of space them out and feel them out. And when your tray's full, you kind of know where you're at. So I'm going to cut the rest of these. And this is how thin you want them. About like that. So they toast up easy. Now the chicken's going to go on top of them, so not only do you want them to toast up easy, you want a nice easy bite there too. And you want to be able to cut through those. Now you can have these for an appetizer. You could have them for dinner. I'm using this for dinner tonight. And sometimes the best appetizers or dinner. You know, people take appetizers and they give you just a little bit of a nice thing. So why not make a lot of a nice thing? So to me, I'll always have appetizers for dinner. Alright, so I'm going to go about there with that. And this bread, I'm just going to leave off to the side. Clean off my crumbs and bring that back in. So our bread's done. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our tomatoes. Now I sliced this garlic up. I got a couple of pieces here. This is how I sliced it. I sliced it the thin way. I didn't smash it. I just cut it. You want to cut it really thin. And this dish, you don't want to release all the oil from the garlic, so just slice it just like that. So I have all those pieces like that. Now I'm going to take this and into our tomatoes we go. I'm going to hold some back, so I might use it for something else. A little dry oregano in there. Just like that. And then now we got some parsley. So what I'll do is boil up a little bit of that parsley. And just give it a little chop. Now we're just going to get a little bit in there for some flavor and some color. But it's basically not a parsley dish. And we'll use some fresh at the end. So we'll just get that in there. Some pepper. And a touch of salt. Olive oil. Need a decent amount of that. And let's just get that mixed up. Now we're cooking this down, so you don't have to worry about all that pungent garlic in there. Because it's going to mellow out as it gets cooked down. So that's just the first stage of that there. So now we have that. We're set with all of our ingredients to go on later on. So once you do that, you don't have to worry about anything else anymore because everything's done. And now you can kind of mess with your chicken. Or sage, just leave that whole, because that's going to go in the pan itself, which we'll show you in just a little bit here. So now we got all of those ingredients done. We got our bread done. We're just going to bring our chicken in and let's work with our chicken. Now I'm working with the chicken last because I don't want to touch any of this stuff. And let's just work with our chicken. So I'm going to take that chicken, put it off to the side, bring in my cutting board, and just show you this chicken here. Now I left one piece undone. You see all that fat that's on here? So you can buy these from the supermarket, de-skinned and deboned, and just get that off of here. This fat on the end here, just get that right out of there. And just look around and clean up all of this fat that they leave in here, and you want all that out of there. So just make sure you clean that up. I mean, look how clean those guys are over there. So make sure you get all of that fat out from in there. Especially there's a pocket in here that I just cleaned out. And especially on the thigh, because this is thigh meat, you want to make sure that pocket is cleaned out. Because that's a horrible bite if you have to pull that out of your mouth. I'm a stickler on fat in chicken. I don't like it. The only time I leave fat on chicken is in a chicken soup. Then it'll kind of just cook down and boil out in the water. When you cook the soup, it just makes for a beautiful stock. And that's it. But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'll clean the chicken. Because most recipes call for defatted chicken. All right, so there it is. I'm gonna look on this side, see if I see any fat. I'm looking pretty good. Off to the side we go with that. All right, so now that we got that like that, let's bring our tray in. I'm still using the same hand that I touched the chicken with. I gotta get all our chicken onto this tray. And this is the easy part, because we're basically just salt and peppering and oregano. That's all you're gonna need on here. And we're gonna cook this down in olive oil. So we're going pepper, just because it was the first thing that I got my hands on over there. It was the closest to me. I'm gonna flip over with this hand. Now I'm just gonna pepper one side of this. I'm not doing both because this is very thin chicken. And then I'm gonna start to get my salt on. So here's my salt. I'm gonna use my oregano. Good amount of that. There it is. And now I'm gonna flip over. Again, I'm still using that same dirty hand that I touched the chicken with the first time. And just remember not to touch anything else. And even if you do have gloves on, there's no need of putting gloves on if you're gonna touch everything, right? So just keep your hands clean. All right, so we got that over. Now a good way to tell if you have everything flipped over, now I put the oregano on there. You don't see any oregano on this side, so you definitely know you got it covered. And then we're just gonna salt this side again. That's it, and then in with the oregano. There it is. Now we're going in with the olive oil with the clean hand. Good douse of that. And we're just gonna make sure we rub it all in there. Just like that. You don't have to worry about putting it back in place. The only reason why you will put it back in place is so you can grab it easier. So just make sure that when you grab them, they're kind of lined up for you and ready. Just like that. Because you can't put these in the pan wrinkled up. They have to go in the pan straight. So that's the only reason why you would unfold them before the cook. So just like that, they're all unfolded, no specific way. Just make sure you can grab them. And there we are. Now they're all lined up. I'm gonna get cleaned up and we're gonna meet you onto the stove, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are ready to get this chicken in. Now, this is what that sage was for. I put a couple of pieces of sage into the pan. That's olive oil in there. And we're putting these in olive oil. Just get them in there and get some nice color on them. I mean, we are cooking them. Now when you do get them all in and you're cooking them, make sure you switch your tongue because you touch the raw chicken with your tongs. So you don't want to touch raw chicken, coming to the end, putting more in or taking them out, and touch your cooked chicken. So you don't want to do that. Depending on how many of these guys you have in and how many batches you're going to do this in. So I'm going to put them all in like that. And I'm probably going to do 2 batches. And just like that. Now this is not like using chicken breast. Chicken breast, they'll dry out. They cook fast. These are thighs. And they're a lot more resilient. They can take some heat. And just make sure you cook them down good. And you get a nice little brown on them. That's it. So we're going to brown them up and we're going to meet you guys right back here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, time to turn a couple of these guys. Now I turned the ones in the middle and I'm going to turn them again because I want them darker. You can turn these as many times as you guys want just to get that nice color on them. Don't worry about burning them, because you won't. See that over there? It's starting to get that little char on there. And that's what you want. Cook that water out of them. They're chicken thighs, so you want to make sure they're starting to look brown like that. And we're not quite there yet. And when we're there, we'll meet you right back here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Time to toast up our bread. Under the broiler, just a couple of minutes. We'll flip them each side and we'll meet you back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we got our chicken done. Just the last couple of bits that are in here. And we're just gonna pull that out of the pan. Now while the pan is still hot, now you can see I have my toast over here. Got that nice bread over here. Let's get our tomatoes in. Now we got our tomatoes in. Our pan's nice and hot. We're gonna add a little wine to deglaze that pan. Just like that. Now while we're doing that, we're gonna garnish our toast. With some parsley. Because you can't garnish once this is on there. And now I'm just going to get all those bits up from the bottom of the pan with the chicken. just like that, and just deglaze this pan. And cook those tomatoes down at the same time. Now you don't want to leave all that flavor behind in this pan. Now when you do things like sausages and it's really burned on to the pot, you don't want to deglaze that because you're just going to pull up a bunch of burnt things. So if you don't burn it, you can always deglaze it. We're just going to clean our pan at the same time and just bring up all that beautiful flavor and that nice sauce. Then you can use the rest of your parsley just to garnish. All right, and there we have it. Just like that. Now, we're going to take this off the heat. I'm going to put it over here. And I'm just going to put my chicken right back in. Just get the whole plate right in there. And let's get it back on the heat again. Now I shut the eye off, but this is electric, so it's still gonna go a little bit more. And that's what you want. Look at those colors just come together. Just get everything nice and soaked in there. And that's it. And just like that, you're done. Beautiful. All right, off the heat we go, and then we're going to meet you onto the table and show you how to plate this up, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are, season 3's chopping block, chicken crostini. Let's show you what we got. Look at that. Beautiful. Now that's how you want to present that. I love to put that in the pan just to show that off like that, and makes a beautiful presentation. So enough said, let's plate up. So first thing we're going to do is get a plate out here. Now what I like to do is just get a nice piece of bread. Now we toasted that bread. You can see that bread is just, you can hear it. Nice and toasted up. You want it nice and toasty because when you put this on, just move this over. When you put this onto the bread, you don't want it to be soggy. So let's just get a nice piece of that in here. Find a nice big piece. Let's go with that on here. And we're going to get a little tomato on there as well. Get some of that nice sauce on there. Just slide that plate over and just get that on there. That's it. That's how you want to do that. Just make sure you soak it really good with all that nice sauce in there. That's why you made that nice sauce, so you can get it nice and soaked down. Add a little parsley to the top, like that. And what I like to do is just add a little bit of feta, just to sprinkle it on there. Bring out some nice flavor. And there you got a beautiful appetizer slash dinner. And this is going to be our dinner. Who says you can't have appetizers for dinner? And there it is. All right, we're going to get organized. We're going to meet you guys right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. A beautiful pan-fried chicken crostini, served up with some fresh tomato. parsley, sage, served in a beautiful wine sauce right on top of that nice toasted bread. Can't go wrong with that one. It's a must. And if you like this video and more videos about to come, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like. That's why we know you like it. Until next time, gotta get that little Pitmaster taste there.